So, as I had mentioned earlier, my name is Winnie Kamau, and I'm a data journalist. I'm based in Nairobi. I don't know who's on the call and would like to share. Just go back. This is an interactive session. So please, if you have any questions, if you think you would want to add something, please raise your hand or just let me know, and you can be able to speak. So as mentioned before, my name is Winnie Kamau, and I'm a data journalist and also an editor. We have an online publication called Talk Africa. And thank you for joining this Africa Digital Skills Conference. It's an honor to be part of this great conference and to be able to share the knowledge that we have so that we can be able to enrich each other. It's not only me who's sharing, but also you. You will get to participate. And I'm so sorry, my video has a problem. I'm trying to connect. Let me see if I can choose. Oh yeah, finally. Okay, so let me see if I can be able to open up my video. I've been trying to work on the video, but it's just been giving me issues. Okay. I'm not going to start troubleshooting the video right now. If it's okay by you, allow me to continue. Okay, there's a question. Can someone without IT background succeed since employers only employ people with experience? Yes, you can succeed. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, you can succeed. You can succeed. All you need to do is be able to build your portfolio. So if you can be able to show the work that you've been able to do over time, that gives you a bit more way of fubu. Yes, if you can be able to create a portfolio of what you've been able to do over time, that is good enough to get you closer to your dream and your desires. Okay, so guys, I can see I'm trying to troubleshoot and it's not working for me. So allow us to go without the video, but you can see my photo. At least you can see who I am and at least the features, how I look like. And my video is on just in case it allows itself to, the video allows to show. So what is data visualization? And according to Stephen Few, who is one of the famous data visualizer or data analyst and an author, he's really big. He says data visualization is a graphical display of abstract information of two purposes, that's sense making and communication. So making sense of the data that you have, being able to see if there's any outlier and being able to communicate that information with the people. Important stories live in our data, and data visualization is a powerful means to discover and understand these stories, and then to present them to others. The information is abstract in that it describes things that are not physical. So the information that we get from statistical information is abstract. And when we're talking about abstract, we're talking about numbers. Most of the time, the data we get is in numbers. And how are we able to communicate this information? We do that with visualizing that data. And the purpose, and the two main purposes, if you take home for you, is to be able to make sense of the data that you have and be able to communicate it well. So those are the two things that you need to know about data visualization: making sense of the data and being able to communicate. And it's there you can be able to see an outlier or something that is wrong, and you can be able, that's what makes the story in any data. So the data we have is what we are able to visualize. So you could have data from maybe the elections. If you're around East Africa or in Kenya, you would have noticed that we had recently in August, we had the elections, and people were able to use the data to be able to visualize. And they came in different formats. There was maps, the infographics, so all that is data visualization, and it has been summarized by Stephen Few. So we look at the historical context of data visualization. People have been arranging data in tables. I needed to give this perspective because people think that data visualizations, data science, data analytics started in the 20th century, in the 21st century, just recently. But you will realize that data visualization didn't start with us. It was started long time ago. In the 17th century, there's this French philosopher and mathematician, René Descartes, is the first person we have to thank because he's the one who started the dimensions of X and Y, being able to display the values in the horizontal and vertical axis. And that's how far we can be able to date data visualization. That's how far we can go back. And then there's this amazing man in the 18th century that started in 17th century, and in the 18th century there's Scotsman William Playfair. We thank him because he's the first person who was able to do he invented the bar graph, and during one of his time like holiday, he was able to invent the pie chart. So data visualization didn't start with Google or because of Excel sheets. No, data visualization started long time ago, and we have the people who some of the founding fathers who are able to capture these things and be able to work on visualizations. They wanted to make sense. Remember, data visualization, the the principle is making sense and communicating that visualization. I mean that data. So William Playfair was a pioneer of graphs, and also that we use today, and also he was able to create bar graph and pie chart. And with this is from Data Visualization for Human Perception book by Stephen Few. And this is what he was able to do. William Playfair, this is what he was able to do. Sorry, not Stephen. William Playfair. So he was able to look at lines and be able to create, using the X and Y axis, he was able to create a line chart. And as you can see, this is a graph in his that was able to portray England's policy of financing colonial wars through national debt. So that was the first line graph that bar graph that we can be able to see, or graph that we can be able to credit William Playfair, that is in 1759. You can imagine, that is back in the 17th century. So we come to the 18th century, at the tail end or the middle of the 18th century. We have Dr. Snowden visualization of cholera outbreak in 1854 London. So Dr. Snowden was a doctor working in London, and there was an outbreak of cholera in 1854. And what he was able to do was to be able to map out, because the doctors wouldn't understand why many guys were still dying of cholera, and they've done everything just to be able to clear out this disease, and yet people were dying. So what Dr. John Snowden did was just go practically, like he mapped house, he moved from house to house in this street in Borough, and he was able to map out all the houses and showed how many people had died in that particular area. And from there, when they narrowed down the area, then they were able to find out there was a cistern which had a diaper that had feces that were infected with cholera, and it was stuck in one of the cistern tanks, and there was a water pipe that was passing through there. That was the reason why cholera in that particular area was not being eradicated. So when they narrowed it down, they were able to know where the problem was, and this was the first mapping and data visualization that was really intricate. That was done by Dr. Joe Snowden in 1854, and they credit data visualization to this. So this is really amazing. And then we ask ourselves, and this is done by one of my mentors and one of the guys that I really credit, and I call him the modern day father of data journalism. That's Alberto Cairo. And he says a graphic can mislead, though misleading is not the same as lying, because the graphic can lead us astray without the conscious intervention of its designer. This distinction is not a technicality. According to professional ethics and codes in journalism and graphic design, knowing the truth and hiding it or conveying it in a way that distorts it is simply unacceptable. So Alberto Cairo has been able to author many books, and one of the things that he came out with was asking, can a graphic and any visualization lie? Can we manipulate data? Because many people say, oh, this is fake news. People have manipulated data. But can we manipulate a visualization to be able to suit what we think? And this is what Alberto Cairo says. And look at this. This is one example from his book. And this person says there are two versions of a fictional graphic. And the first one displays just the average change, hiding the fact that the 10 markets in which the company operates behaved very differently between 2012 and 2013. And that reality is shown in the second version of the graphic. The average of all the values encoded in the bar graph is indeed 12%. Yes, the sales have grown or have improved by 12% over the last year. When you're presenting a visualization to your boss, but there's something you're not able to show. If you see the second graphic, you see that it's showing that the sales had dipped to negative 15%, and over the year they've grown up to 70%, in that they have increased by an average of 12%. So it's true, yes, you have improved sales by 12%, but you've not said that you went through some hard times. So that's one of the things that we're looking at. Can a visualization mislead or lie? The second one is we look at the presidential elections in Venezuela in 2013. So there are two candidates, Nicolas Maduro and Henrique Capriles. And the presidential elections showed by the Venezuelan national TV station. This is what they were able to see. 50.66% versus 49.07%. If you look at that, that's a bit misleading because you see that the y-axis has been truncated, like it has been exaggerated. Yet we know if you minus, this is a 1%, almost like a 1% difference between the two candidates. But the right graphical presentation, or the one that is correct, when the 3D has been removed, this is what it shows. And this is a correct visualization that you'd want to show the people so that they don't feel like you are exaggerating or the data is too much. It feels like there's some votes that are missing with this 3D presentation or 3D effect. So this is a correct graph, bar graph, and it shows, yes, there's a minimal difference of almost 1% of votes between the two candidates. And this is more accurate than the previous one, this one. The other one is there's the issue of unemployment. If you look at the rate of unemployment, you see that 12 the truncated y-axis is not the only problem here. Based on the graph, in this particular figure, like you see, there's a 5 million difference and 4.6 million unemployment rate. Like for the people who are employed, who are unemployed, first when they started out in February, it was 5.04 million, and then by August, the unemployment rate had reduced to 4.6 million. So if you look at that, you can see there's a difference, but there's a way you can show the difference over time. So there's missing information there. In between, from February to August, the months in between, and they were able to show the different, how unemployment rate had reduced and gone high and then reduced by the time they reached August 2013. So these are the different ways you can be able to use data visualization. It can be misleading for some point if that's what you want to do, but we know data visualization is very powerful. Visualizing data is very, very powerful. And it's you as a designer, it's you as a data user, or a data analyst, you can be able to make a difference. And knowing some of these truths, then you're able to know how to navigate around showing the truths of data when it's on your table. Okay. So being a data journalist, these are some of the process that we go through. So we look for the data, we filter the data, we clean it up, visualize, and then we can be able to find a story out of that data. So, and this is a process that can be applied by you, that can be applied by any data analyst, just looking for that data, filtering, cleaning it up, and then you're able to visualize it. And from there, you're able to see a story, or you're able to see what you really wanted from the data. If you wanted to see the unemployment rate, then you can be able to get the story after you've cleaned up all your data and you're able to visualize it. The data will speak for itself, and it will tell you whether you made a profit or whether you made losses. The data will tell you after you've done all the cleaning up and now you're visualizing it. And we'll look at some of the tools that we can use to be able to visualize the data, and we'll do the practicals. But before we go to the practicals, are there any questions? Let me stop sharing so that I can be able to access any questions, or I don't know if anyone has a question or checking out this chat. Okay, so no questions so far. Any, this is an interactive session, so anyone with a question, anyone who'd like to challenge the kind of visualizations that we have before we go to the practical session? Anyone? Okay. So let's go to the practical session, and let me share my screen again. Okay, so we'll start with one tool, visualizing tool. It's called the Flourish. So I've opened, it's so easy to be able to navigate it. So what you need to do, if you go on search, Google search, just check on Flourish, it should pop up, and once it comes, this is how it looks like. Then data visualization, and you can be able to sign in. So you can choose to sign in with your Google account or anything. So since I'd signed in, it takes me back to my page. So that's how you're able to access it. So Flourish is one of the very interesting visualizing tool that you can have. It's very beautiful. If you get to play around with it, you can be able to see what as in, like, you can be able to do so many things with Flourish. One thing I like about Flourish, you can be able to do the moving bar graphs, and I will show you that. Let me see if I can be able to play that. Let me show you the moving bar graph first so that you can see how amazing this this visualizing tool is. So you can be able to put audio on loop and play once. I don't know. Okay, so let's give it a minute for my data to load, so that as that one is loading, okay. No chats yet. Okay, so, and no one has a question yet? Okay. Okay, it's taking time to load, but once it loads, then, okay. So this is data I'd gotten during the COVID time, and this was in March 2020, and I was looking at data from different countries, and I was able to analyze the data. I mean, just put it up and be able to. So this is how it looks like, where it has the different flags. And this is data from March 26th all the way to the end of April. So, and this is data that was collated from different countries, the number of cases that were there that had been reported of COVID cases. So it was a sad time, and people were trying to understand what was happening around them, like trying to understand what is this disease, where did it come from, and here data was being given out by Africa CDC, that is World Health Organization, and Africa CDC. So they were trying to understand the information they were getting, the numbers they were getting. So I was trying to make sense out of the numbers, like how many people were infected, and the numbers they would give was like on a daily basis. So I would collect that data and be able to, over time, you're able to visualize it and you're able to see using the moving bar graphs. So let's start. So when you come to Flourish, there's this new visualization. So you can choose to start, say, I want to start a new visualization. And then you can choose how you want it to be visualized. They have different as you can see, you can be able to choose whichever you want. Either you want to show it as a graph, as a scatter plot, as a map, depending on how your data looks like. And from there, once you choose whatever you want, then you can be able to visualize it. Okay, so as it's loading, it's taking time to load. So I can choose a bar chart. And remember, when you look at the history of data visualization, we have to thank one guy, William Playfair. He's one guy who was able to invent the bar graph and the Python. As it's taking time to load, let's go back. I've opened to Okay, it's still loading. Sorry, my data is a little bit. So from there you can see from there you can be able to see there's already data that has already been that's already there in existence. So since we do not want this data, and this is not our data, we don't know what it's all about. We can upload our data. So let's look for, let me see. Okay, I'm trying to look for simple data that I had. Let's see if I can get it. Sorry, guys. Uh, okay, so this is data that I had. So it should upload. And so this is data that I had from a hackathon we did. And it has coordinates and everything. So from here, you're able to see what you want to visualize. Because this is very intricate, like it's very detailed data. And since I don't want to show everything, I can choose the columns that I want to visualize. And I can choose H. So the values that I want to show are in column I, column I. This is what I want to show, the values. And the labels, I want it on H, because this is a column I want to visualize, these two columns, H and I. So if I go to the preview of the data, this is what I will see. So in 2017, it will capture all the data that I've been able to show. And from here, you can be able to play around with the chart. You can play around with the colors. So this one is a grouped bar chart. You can say you want a line chart. This is how it will look like. If you want to change column group, you can change it to different forms. If you want stacked, this is how it looks like. And then you can choose if you want different colors. It's on. you can choose the palette that you want for your colors, and it will change the color palette that you want depending on how you feel like you would want. It has at least a different range of color palettes. So depending on the theme of your organization, or if it's your organization and you know the color theme, you can change to whichever you want, especially with this free version of Flourish. But if you pay for the premium version, you can also get more palettes that are available. At least you can be able to change the background, the legends, you can align them. And also what I like is about the footnote, you can be able to credit the source, where you got the data from, and you can be able to do all that, and also give, if you want to credit yourself or the person who gave you the information, or even like write about yourself, you can put that. If you have the other version, the premium version, you can be able to embed your logo for your organization, and it's so easy. Yeah. So basically, that's how easy you can be able to use Flourish to be able to create a graph, and then you can export once you're done and publish. So if you export and publish, it will be in the public domain. And let me show you how it will be looking like. And the good thing is that now you can use it in your Canva. If you have a Canva account, you can always use it, because if I'm not wrong, Canva bought out Flourish, or they are in partnership. So you can look at it. You can embed it. So my data is. Oh, and also up titling, and it gives you credit to the person to the account that is being used. So you can choose to give it Africa Digital Skills Conference. Visualization, yeah. So that's what, if you publish it, that's what will happen. And it will show that. So from the previous data that I have, kindly, if you have a question, let me know. I'll stop sharing so that you can be able to see. Sorry, when I'm sharing, I'm not able to see who's there, or anyone who has a question, or the chat session, so I can't be able to see.
Okay, Winnie, let me check for you. I don't see any question yet. Hello, Winnie. I'm checking to see if there's any question for you. So just hold on.
Oh, there's none. Not yet. Okay, cool.
Okay.
So if anyone has a question, please.
No.
No, sorry?
There's no question in the chat window at the moment.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And sorry, guys, my camera has misbehaved. I've done a very beautiful hairstyle for you guys to appreciate this African lady, and done all the full makeup. You should see me, my goodness. I was ready, but anyway, sorry. My camera just decided to do issues on me, to pull a fast one on me. Okay, so that's on Flourish. Let's see how it looks like. I don't know if it's agreed to publish yet, but it should, if there's no any problem, and you can be able to download the image and for yourself. Okay, sorry for that. So to open it up. So this is how it will look like. And you can use this visualization if you do a good if you do a good visualization for whatever your organization or maybe your story, you can use the picture to embed it on your. Thank you. And you can embed it on your story if you're publishing a story or you're doing a presentation at work, you can use it. So that's how the visualization will look like. So we go to the next one. The other one is Data Wrapper. So Data Wrapper is another visualizing tool that I really like. One thing I've come to realize that most of this, when people create these tools, what happens after some time, people buy out. Like when they're trying to expand the company or the idea, people buy out the tools. And if a company buys out that tool or that organization that created that tool, then things change in that organization. I'll show you, for example. Plotly was one visualizing tool that was so easy to use, like you would have no issues using it. It was so fast, so simple. But look at now, after Plotly sold out, this is a new Plotly. They came up with pricing, things changed. You can't, like, if you're not very tech savvy, Plotly will discourage you from using them. But if you're tech savvy, then this would be a good place to go on. But when they started out like Flourish, like really an amazing tool where anyone who has no coding skills, who has no visualizing skills, could easily access and be able to work on their data. So Data Wrapper, you go to Data Wrapper. Data Wrapper, it's a German-based company. It's really nice also. I really like it. So if you go on Google, search for it, Data Wrapper. This is how it looks like. So you can create charts, maps, and tables out of it. So if you click on it, okay, it takes time, sorry, to load. But I guess it's on my end because of my data, but it's not gonna. My Wi-Fi today decided to have a go slow on me. It's a bit erratic. So, yeah. Okay, so I'd hope I had opened my this is my account. So these are some of the projects that I've been able to use to do using data wrapper, and I've been able to. Somebody was asking, oh, you need to have a lot of experience. No, it's a lot. You working on yourself and being able to show people what you can be able to do with the data that you have. Can you be able to analyze the data that you get and be able to visualize it and share with people? So that's how okay, you're able to build your portfolio. And the goodness, once you open these accounts, they continue keeping your information for longer, as long as you still have an account with them. So this is something I've done a while back. I was looking at the census of the Ministry of Tourism had done their first census ever in the country, that is in Kenya, and they were able to share the numbers of the wildlife they were able to capture over a period of time. So I took the numbers, and most of the time I play around with Excel sheet. I took the numbers and I was able to come to data wrapper and just play around with the information and see. Yeah, I want to change my connection and see if this one. Oops, sorry guys, sorry. I was trying to. Yes, data wrapper is free. Yes, that's what I'm trying to do. Sorry, my dear. Okay, host, please allow screen share. Share screen. Host, please. Linda, is she on the call? Linda, please allow sharing of the screen. Data wrapper is free. Yes, 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 yes. True. Thank you. That's very true. Okay. I can't. Yeah. Leaders of Africa, thank you. Kimi, Kim. Kimi. Okay, I'm trying to do a demonstration, but host Linda, please, can we share? Can you allow? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Let's give Linda some time to allow me to share. Sorry, it's because I lost. Was
Hello,
trying
Winnie.
Yes, please.
Please hold on. Our super admin will sort you out.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank
Sorry
you.
about that.
Sorry for that. It's my mistake. I went trying to look for. Okay. Super admin.
Hello? Can you
Yeah.
please check? Can
Oh,
you try screen sharing and see?
now I can. Now I can. Okay.
You have it now?
So
Okay.
let me see. So I'll showing you. Let me just try and reload it and see if it will load back. So it's taking a bit of time. Please be patient. At least the data wrapper is also free. Flourish was bought by Canva. It's also free. There's a free version and there's a paid up version. If you want to have your logo on and more information about yourself on your visualization, then you have to pay for the premium. If you just want basic visualization just to embed on your maybe on your website or on your story, or you just want to do a presentation for your company, these are amazing tools that can really help you to be a better person in terms of um, even like a data analyst. Like this will give you more credibility and more marks. That's what we usually say, more marks at work. That is, you look more professional. Okay, so looks like have I opened so many keys? Trying to close all the tabs that have too many, so I can save on the data. Let's reload the page. That's flourish. Still opening up. Sorry, guys. I had prepared. Sorry, guys. It's taking a bit of time, but As it's loading, let's go to infograph. So infograph is also another visualizing tool that you can use. We'll get back to it. I hope it's on. So if you go to infogram, just go to search infogram. If you do a basic search on Google, it allows you to create infographics, reports, maps. So if you click on it, it's so easy to access. It's not too loaded. Okay, so the things I've been able to do with infograph. Infogram it's an easy tool to use. So you choose whatever you want. So if you want to do a basic infographic, you just click on it. You can choose a blank template, or you can choose from what they have. So it gives you all the visualizations that you need. But if you want like this one, you need to upgrade, and that means you have to pay. But if you want a basic one with not many complications, you can just choose from the templates that are free to use. All these are free to use. But the ones that have been written upgrade, you need to like buy. So we will just pick one, and let's say we use this one, and we'll share it with the public. So what we'll name this design, we'll say Africa digital skills conference. It's called infogram. 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 Taking time to load. Error initial. Click on edit. It's so easy to use, very easy. Just need to remember the steps that we had for remember these steps. You look for the data, you find it, then you filter, and then visualize it, and then you can be able to make up a story out of it. So these are the tools that we'll be looking at, and I'm so sorry. It's either my internet that is very slow, that is taking long to load, and we have less than 13 minutes to go before our session ends. But these are the tools that I would like to share with you. There's Flourish, Data Wrapper, there's Infogram, there's Tableau. Tableau will be had as it is, and then there's Google Public Data Explorer. So these are the visualizing tools that we can look at. If we have any other session, I would be happy, more than willing to just have time to share with you guys. But if you have any question, please don't hesitate to ask. I am more than willing to help you. And that's part of our practical sessions. I'll say thank you in advance as I share my details, just in case you need to reach out to me. You can reach out to me at Twitter, Winnie Kamau 254, and LinkedIn at Winnie Kamau, just in case we run out of time. You have my information. Okay, let's go back to our practicals and see if it's loaded. Okay, so here we are. Oh, please load up, load up, load up. So this is how one of the free tools that you have for to do an infographic. This is how it looks like. We've called it. So what you do, you just come to the you just click whatever you would like to change. If you want to add more information about it, you just click on it. So for that, you can reposition it to whichever. I'm sorry, guys. Ooh, taking time, guys. What? Is it my internet? You can play around with the. That's for the transparent. As in this, you can play around with it with how to edit it, and you can change the color to whichever color you want. You want red, you want pink, or any other theme color you would want. You can play around with the colors that you have. If you want to do animation for it, you can change. You want to move it around, a line to right, a line to left, a line to middle. You can play around with it. If you want letter spacing, this is how you can be able to change everything. Just click on this bar and it will show you what you need to change. We're calling it Africa. It's 2022. This is chance. If I want to enlarge, I can enlarge it a little bit. And move it around. And to sitting there, and you can do continue this. What else do we need to write? We can delete this, or we can write something. Say, write. So, since we're not having text, we can edit that. We can remove this box if we don't want. Then we can say amazing. This is just an example. What you we're trying to create a visualization using a data wrapper, which is just a free tool that you can be able to access online. And you can use it and look so professional before your bosses. But we don't want this table. So I'm going to delete it. And we don't want all this. So we can choose to just to delete everything because you don't want everything. Okay, basically, we just want this part. So if you just want this part, you can delete the other part. Show you how you can do it without even doing it manually. And you can add anything else you want, whatever you want. You can just add. So we can do a flow chart for this event. Can add text. Data flow. You want it to be there, but I can always move it. This I can add. If I do that, change the color to whichever you want. Over that, small popping. Change the color to oh, What is it? Oh, so I haven't seen this text box before. So there it is. So if I want anything, then I can download. I can change the layout to whichever add mobile layout. If I want to grid it, give it layers, or even add different shapes, or even add a map. Maybe I wanted to add a map. Let's see, insert the African map. Because we are expensive. So just without map, I can just add the little added stuff. And then there you are. Maybe I can download it. Sorry, we've run out of time. But I don't want to go without, as that one is downloading, there's another one that I want to show you. This is Google Public Data Explorer. This one, you just type Google Public Data Explorer. Google, let me type it on the chat. Google Public Data Explorer. This is another very interesting visualizing tool that you should have it on your hand. So this is data that has been collated from different public portals. So they have World Bank, they have IMF, they have all this information. So Google collates all that information and puts it in one a data portal. It's public, it's open and free source for everyone who can use. They have the indicators, and then you can compare with the region and you can be able to color it. So one of the stories that I had done some time back was on the life expectancy and the fertility rate. So, and you can do a scatter plot and it can move around, just showing that's how it looks like. And you can embed this on your story, in your visualizations. I mean, in your presentations, you can be able to embed this. And it's really nice because it has this scatter plot, and it has information that can be dated back to 19, whichever time before Jesus Christ, before Christ. So they have all the data they are able to collect, and it updates itself because if it's like now you can see, if you look at the bottom, the metadata, it's showing you data from World Bank. Last updated was 8th April 2020. And yeah, and it's showing you data until 2017 life expectancy. If you look at the countries that are being shown, like India, life expectancy is at 69.2 years. If you look at China, it's at 76.5. You look at Korea, it's at 82.6 years. This is Japan, 84. If you look at fertility rate, the highest was in Niger. So, and then Somalia also, Chad has high fertility rate, Nigeria has high fertility rates, Democratic Republic of Congo, you look at Mali, you look at, I mentioned Somalia, and you look at Burundi, but as they have high fertility rates, you compare it with their life expectancy. Like Niger, it's the highest with almost 8 point something, and it reduced to 7 point something rate, but the life expectancy is at 61 years. Nigeria, which is at 5.46, it has the highest, one of the highest life expectancy, not the highest, one of the highest fertility rate, but look at the life expectancy is at 54 years. So that shows you there's something. Yes, there's a lot of childbearing in the country, but there's something that needs to be fixed in the country to make sure that people live longer in the country. They shouldn't be going to 54. So the shortest, the other country is Lesotho, Eswatini now, which is at 52, and Central African Republic, which is at 52.2. But you see what Sierra Leone is at 53.9%. So you look at this data, you're able to see and ask yourself, why does a country like Sierra Leone have, life expectancy is at 53.9 years, yet the fertility rate is at almost 4 point something rate, 4.36. So, which is high. Yet Japan or even China or Hong Kong, China, it's at 84.7, yet the life expectancy is at 84.7, yet the fertility rate is at 1.13. So that these are some of the things that you're able to create a story around this and asking those questions. A country like China has life expectancy of 76.5%, yet their fertility rate is at 1.68. So India 2.24, Kiribati 3.56. You look at they give the world development indicators. So this is where you're able to get all the information. So if you look at these indicators, you're able to get so much information. Let me remove. So these are the indicators that you have. Because like this one was on health, I removed. So they have like 10 or 15 indicators that you can look at. And out of that, there are all those information that you can be able to work on. And it's at this point, I'll stop sharing. And if you have any questions, please. And if you want this presentation, I can always share it with you. Thank you very, very much for listening. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Really appreciate it. Thank you for, even though you haven't seen me with my beautiful makeup, it's okay. I still have love for you guys. Thank you. Linda, over to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Winnie. Myself, I have put down some notes of tools I want to explore, particularly the Google Public Data Explorer. And I also intend learning some new tools on my own, like Flourish and Data Wrapper. So thank you so much for the insightful presentation on data visualization. Participants on the call, do you have any questions? You can unmute and ask Winnie.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Seems everyone is fine. So yeah.
Is there a way to share the presentation with them, or if they ask you, then you can share with them? I can forward it to you.
Yes, please. That'll be fine.
Okay, cool.
All right. Okay. I see Henry's hand up. Henry, please, you can unmute. Sorry.
Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon, Henry.
Yes, thanks very much for the presentation. And then much grateful because I joined late, but I've learned something from it. So with the Google Public Data, is it possible to also import data into it and then use it the way however you want to use it?
Okay, so the Google Public Data Explorer, what it does, it curates data that is open. So it gets data from World Bank, from IMF, from all these different organizations, and then it's able to put it on its platform as long as it's open and free. So if you want to give them your data, then you can also, if you have any data sets, you can share with them, and then they can always put it there. But they have like different indicators that they're looking at and criteria so that they can be able to share it with the public.
Oh, okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Any more? Anyone else? Okay, Winnie, we can end this session. Thank you so much for availing yourself and sharing your passion for data visualization with us.
Thank you very much. And again, you can, let me just share for the last time, just in case anyone wants to reach me. You can reach me on Twitter or LinkedIn. That's me saying thank you. Asante sana, merci beaucoup. Obrigado. Ciao.
You're most single.
No, yeah. So that's me. You can reach me on Twitter or LinkedIn at Winnie Kamau. That's me.
Awesome. Thank you everyone for joining. And yes, we still have a few sessions left and then this conference will come to a close. So don't be in a hurry to leave yet. Thank you, Winnie, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it and look forward to seeing you all soon.
Sure. Bye.
Bye.